What's up, everybody? Christian Ballard here with Ballard Sports Media. Here, episode 7 of Off the Court. You know how it goes down. We talk college and NBA stuff. As always, feel free to hop in the comments section, comment, ask questions, stuff like that. Happy to read comments. Before we get into some news, I want to just come on here and apologize. As you guys know, if you've been subscribed to me for a while now, I have 23 subscribers. Shout out to everyone subscribed. Do appreciate it. Thank you. As you know, I do a post-game reaction for the Alabama men's basketball games. After the games are played, I talk about the game. I talk about Alabama and their performance. If I happen to stream a game like I did this past Saturday, I did LSU and Bama. I also did Alabama and Georgia a couple weeks ago. Excuse me. I do the post-game talk on there. I said something in the video last night that I probably should not have said. Now, before you think, oh man, you said something bad, I didn't say anything bad, but shout out to BVD for correcting me in the comments section. I do appreciate that. But I saw something, that said, so when I was watching the game last night, of course Alabama lost, as you guys know, 74-68 at home, right? They were saying something about Alabama not getting in the playoffs, right? I don't know why. Or I say the playoffs, I meant the tournament. I do apologize. And so I went along with it for some reason. I thought they were serious. And so if you watched the post-game video last night, I basically said, well, credit to Nate Oates, even though we didn't make the tournament or invitation or anything, credit him for the wins that he got this year, and, we'll have to see what happens. Listen, Alabama is far from out of it, all right? Teams lose basketball all the time. You're not going to win every basketball game, and if you do, man, good luck to you. Very hard to win in basketball. I mean, it's not hard, but it's it's very hard to get a really, really good win streak going. You look at Auburn this year, 15-0, and then they came to Tuscaloosa. They won 15 straight games this season. They were one of the only undefeated teams. They were ranked very high. They come to Tuscaloosa, and Alabama beats them. So I just wanted to clear that up. Alabama is not out of the tournament conversation, at least. There's still plenty left to be played, I think. Let me look this up real quick. I want to see when is the selection day. Selection show. Let me see. Selection Sunday is March 15th is the selection show. Alabama, and I'm going to pull up their schedule real quick. Let me check to see, because they don't have many games left. I think, what do they have, 5 or 6 left? Let's see. Down the stretch, at Ole Miss, at Mississippi State, home against the Gamecocks, home against Vandy, and on the road at Mizzou. They have 5 games left, 3 on the road. I don't know if they can afford more losses. And again, shout out to BVD for commenting on my post-game video last night. Just reminding me that Alabama still has a chance, and yet they do. Because I'm looking at it right here. So let's see. I'm reading this that was posted on Sports Illustrated. This was prior to last night's loss, right? On the 17th. Now, obviously, this changes just a little bit, but not by much. But this was posted a few days ago. While its chances for an automatic bid are slim, 6.9%. This is about Alabama. Alabama's at-large bid chances sit high at a 84.6% chance. So Alabama, now when you lose a game, it doesn't always drop your chances, I don't think, but since it's late in the season, I think their chances drop, but just a little bit. They didn't lose like big time or anything. Again, there's still time to make up for that. It was a 74-68 loss at home. Shout out to Kyra. And the game, listen, it came down to the wire. With like 10 seconds left, Kyra Lewis got a 3-point shot to cut the deficit. We have some good wins. The question is, isn't enough for Alabama, which I guess it is. I mean, listen, I still think that their best win, and you look at this, LSU, okay, let me see here. We beat Missouri, we won at Vandy, we beat Kansas State, we lost on the road at LSU. LSU then came to Tuscaloosa at ranked 25 in the nation. Alabama beat them. Alabama beat Auburn at home. They beat Georgia on the road. Yes, they lost to Auburn on the road. Now, I think what's holding Alabama back are these home losses. Arkansas, Tennessee, A&M, and I guess that's it. And Penn. I think the battle for Atlantis early season tournament against UNC, Iowa State. I think those were neutral site. I could be wrong though. Let me check the chat real quick. Nobody in there, but again, if you're watching, feel free to type in the chat as always. So again, Selection Sunday, March 15th. Right? That's the selection show. Alabama has a good chance. I think with the loss, though, it does drop their chances just a little bit, but it shouldn't affect them all that much, right? No, I forgot to put this up. My bad. I can change that now. So I'm going to go ahead and get into some, as they call it, bracketology. Hang on. So, and again, give Coach Nate Oates a lot of credit. Whether Alabama makes it or not, you have to give him credit for some great wins that they've had this year. They beat the number 4 team at home. I get it's at home, but regardless of how you did it, you beat the number 4 team in Auburn at home. Right? Your tough losses and your losses that you had were mostly on the road. And if you do lose at home, it's close. It's not like you're getting blown out at home. Like, by like 20, 50 points or something, Anyway, so I think the chances do drop a little bit. About a 91.5% chance to make it. That was posted on SI.com as of Monday morning. So, again, so there's still a chance. Moving on past that, let's talk some bracketology, as I call it. what does it look like right now? Let me pull it up a little bit real quick. What is happening with my computer? So, obviously the number one team gets in, right? Now, the bracket's always confusing and everything. I don't know how they decide to set it up. You got 16 teams. Well, actually, I guess you start out. It's the what do you call it? The round of 32, because you have two sets of tournaments, right? You call that they call it. Let me see. So, looking at this bracket, and I'm not going to go through every single team. I don't plan on it, at least, right? But you have the South, you have the Midwest, the West, the East, right? Yada yada. All these teams play. And they, try to move on. I don't see Alabama in there. And there's other teams in there, or that are not in there, that could possibly, sneak in. So, Alabama's in a spot where they're one of the first four out. I'm not exactly sure what that's supposed to mean. But anyway, so I want to talk some potential locks, right? I got 5 teams that are potential locks to make the tournament. Not win, right? You can't say they're both the lock to win it, right? Only one team can win, right? You could say they're a lock to make the championship along with this team, yeah. But some locks are Duke, Auburn, Florida State, Baylor, and Kansas. Duke, they're always in there. Auburn, you know how good Bruce Pearl is, man. They're really good. And they made the Final Four last year. Lost a little bit of talent, but not a whole lot. And they returned a lot of great talent, too. Listen, regardless of who they played or whatever, they won 15 straight games to start the season out. Then they lose to Alabama. They've really only lost, let me check real quick, because I think they've only lost maybe 4 or 5 games. I could be wrong. Let me see what their record is. They're ranked number 13. Oh, they've only lost 3 games. 22-3. That's a really good record. The question is, what do their losses look like, right? Well, at Alabama, at Florida, at Mizzou, and at Georgia. All of those are on the road. They're undefeated at home. They are good on the road, though, right? So, Auburn, you can consider a lock. They made the Final Four last year. They're trying to get back there, and they're trying to, hopefully not have a controversial call. That's going to be so controversial, they're talking about it even in the off season or whatever, right? They're just trying to win it all and win the championship. Everyone's trying to win the championship, right? Again, Duke's always in there. Auburn's a lock. Florida State, potentially a lock. They look like a team that might win the ACC. I would assume you try to win your conference in basketball and all that, obviously. The ACC is dominant. Louisville, they started out really well this year. They could sneak in. I don't know about getting an invitation for them. It might not be like that part of sneaking in, but I think they'll be in the tournament. I'm just taking a guess on these for the locks, right? Baylor, Kansas, those are the 2 teams in the Big 12. Who else do we have? Let me see. You got San Diego State, unbeaten. They're like the only undefeated team. If they keep this up, listen, San Diego State. I think this, if you can be ranked in football, if you could be ranked in basketball, if you can be ranked, you could be in the tournament, you can be in the title, you can win it all that. San Diego State has 3 games left. They're 26-0, which means I guess does everyone play 29 games? I guess. I guess it's different, but if San Diego State goes undefeated, they're in, right? You can't. How are you going to keep them out? If you're going to rank them at 4 when they're undefeated and they go undefeated, regardless of who they played, what conference they're in, whatever, you put a team like that in. So, anyway, so Alabama still has a chance, right? Yes, they probably dropped just a little bit with a loss last night. But, man, you look at how they lose games. They drop it, you know? They lose it at the end. They're a little inconsistent. They slow themselves down. They beat themselves up. You know, like they need a really big lead. It's if they got a huge lead at the half, they're going to win the game, man. It's not always going to be a guarantee, but that's normally how they've won games this year. And they got great players. Kyra, John Petty, Herb Jones, Shackelford. I could go on. Alex Reese. You've heard me mention them when I do Alabama live streams for the games. Some of them, at least. Don't really get a chance to do them on Wednesday nights because of church, but so they got some good wins. But is it enough? I'm not talking about is it enough for Alabama, like, yeah, but for an Alabama team, they still shouldn't have lost. Not talking about Alabama. I'm talking about compared to other teams that are going to try to get into the tournament. You can't put every team in. What do you start out with? They seriously have like 64 teams or something, right? So, anyway, moving on. I'm just going to go ahead and get off this subject. You've heard my statement. I've made it clear. Alabama is not dead yet. They still got a chance. Now moving on to the NBA. We have not had any games since Sunday. I think there is a game on tonight. Yes, there are a couple. I'm not going to do one tonight, but I do plan on doing one tomorrow night. I'll see what I can do, what I can come up with based on the 2 that are airing. Denver at Oklahoma City. That's at 8 o'clock tomorrow. Then there's one at 10:30. New Orleans at Portland. And listen, I really don't. I try my best to check the games and just, be like, oh, well, are these teams actually worth watching? Listen, they got some good talent, right? Hang on, let me change this real quick. They got some good talent. Denver Nuggets got some good talent. They're almost equal records right here. Oklahoma, 33-22. Denver Nuggets, 38-17. Right? It's almost a 50-50 game, right? I don't really have much of a title for this one right now. Just NBA talk. We're just going to talk about it, right? Well, actually, I do. I'll go ahead and put this on. But anyway, so there's not very many games. Again, maybe there are people out there that could probably care less about this game. The Denver Nuggets are first in the Northwestern Division. That does say something. They can make a run at the postseason potentially. As far as the division goes, okay. So there's that. They're also second in the Western Conference. So this could be a pretty interesting game. I have not gotten to see Denver play this year. I haven't really gotten to see much of NBA all that much. Obviously, I go back and I see highlights. I don't get to always catch it live. Obviously, as I do a game on Friday night, I get to see that. Right? Might watch one after, one before, whatever, prior to the game that I stream. So the Denver Nuggets, listen, they could afford a loss, I think. I think it drops them. So imagine this, by the time so you see that, let's say the Denver Nuggets lose on Friday. Let's say the Clippers win their game. When are they playing? Because they are right behind the Nuggets. So let's see. They play. Well, I don't see when they play. I guess they don't. It's not showing. I'll have to check the schedule, but talking about it's not showing up at the top where you can just see. But anyway, so the Nuggets are trying to win the Western Conference. They're trying to make a run at the playoffs. They look like a team that's probably going to be a lock. They're number 2. Wouldn't be surprised to see them get in there. So it would be pretty cool if I do this game tomorrow night between the Thunder and Nuggets. Get a chance to see what the Nuggets look like. I've never, gotten a chance to see them play. I haven't even heard any news on them. I listen to basketball podcasts all the time, and I don't hear them being talked about all that much. But they got guys, let's see. Jamal Murray, Gary Harris, Monte Morris. None of these sound familiar. Torrey Craig, Jordan McRae. Those are some guys. Michael Porter Jr. They got 7 guys out. But anyway. So I might do the Nuggets and Thunder game, right? As for the MVP race, how about that? Oh, surprise, surprise, surprise. I'm not trying to sound sarcastic or anything. But I don't mean it as a surprise. But how about Giannis Antetokounmpo leading the MVP race? Does this shock anybody? Doesn't shock me. He's one of the best in the league. Kawhi, LeBron, James Harden, Luka Doncic in there. Who should win the MVP? Well, I think it's up for grabs at the moment. It's tough. I don't even know. I like how all of these guys are playing. I might put Luka at the bottom of the list because just compared to these other guys like Harden and Kawhi and LeBron and Giannis, I just don't think he's up there on that level at the moment. He's really close, but so what's up, Cool Gamer 1 XX? Hi, Giannis. Oh, you got Giannis. I like Giannis. I mean, listen, this guy is just a. They don't call him the Greek Freak for nothing, man. So, wouldn't be surprised if he won it. LeBron James, hasn't he won enough? Kawhi won, when he was with the Raptors last year, I know they won the finals against the Warriors. Didn't Kawhi win the Finals MVP? I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. But anyway, so sure to hit that like and subscribe. So yeah, I might do this Nuggets and Thunder game tomorrow. Not a guarantee. We'll see what happens. That game is at, let me check, 8 o'clock tomorrow night. I normally do 8 o'clock games, and you know, I normally do 8 o'clock games, or I did a 9 o'clock game once. I think that was my first one with the Mavericks and the Lakers. I was up all night for that one, that's for sure. So that should be an interesting game. I'll go live around like 7:45, 7:50, sometime before that. It's not a guarantee that I'd do a stream, but anyway. Let's see, I cover everything. So I talked bracketology, A&M, recap. So again, to summarize all this up, Alabama still has a chance. Giannis pretty much leads the MVP race. I'm not going to get on here and say it's not even close. I think it is close. You can argue, you can debate it. You make a case for Kawhi, LeBron, Luka, their own case for why they should win the MVP. But, as great and important as the MVP is, you know what else is important is winning that NBA Finals. Someone wants to win it. I think everyone wants to win it. But there's certain teams that are just not going to make it. There's teams that are going to make it. We will see what happens. So, anyway. So, we also have the NFL Combine coming up. When is that? And I know this is a basketball show, but I am curious about this. I just talk sports in general, but that starts on Sunday, the Combine, and it goes until March 2nd. So as news, I don't know, I might find some time to do some live streams maybe, or some videos about the Combine and all that. I always love getting a chance to see that. So, anyway, I think I'll go ahead and get off. I do appreciate everyone for watching. Hit that like, hit that subscribe if you're new. I do NBA, I do college basketball, I do football during football season. Quite a bit of football content to come. I will do some team previews over the summer as we get closer to the 2020 season. Team previews for college at least. Maybe some NFL talk during the NFL season. A lot of baseball talk. I talk baseball on Mondays on my show, The Foul Out, and I think it's a cool title, but anyway. So, yeah. Let's see. So anyway, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. If you're new, comments, always appreciated. Thanks so much for tuning in and watching. And that's pretty much it. Thanks so much. And until next time, Ballard Sports Media is checking out. See y'all later.